I went to Rampart Reservoir July 11th. It took a hit. It took a bad hit. The little fingers, if you've never been up there, the trees got fried. Not the entire reservoir, but it took a hit. This map here, this is Rampart Res. This is Monument Creek, just above the Air Force Academy. Right here. This is Hay Creek, the beginning of the Tri-Lakes Monument Fire Protection District. 5 miles, 5 ground miles. Where's Monument? We weren't even on their map yet. They had to make a bigger map for us. It took them a few days. When the incident management team on Monday came in, the Type 1, I met with a strategic planner who came with them. She had just come from the Hyde Park fire, where she watched the fire move 5 miles in 1 hour. Right here, if you please would come up here and look at this after the meeting, you'll see some color. Those were our 2 different evacuation trigger points or zones. But our evacuation trigger points were Stanley Canyon, which is right here, was going to be the first one to trigger the evacuation of Hay Creek. Once it got anywhere above Stanley Creek, it was a trigger of everything west of I-25. Now, that's if the wind stayed current that way. Right now we have drainages going east-west. Well, when you start getting up here, you see these things start changing direction, northeast, southwest, and they come just like this, and here's Woodmoor. Please don't think I-25 is a buffer for anything. I was talking to a lady here just this evening who was telling me about the ash falling in her yard Tuesday evening from the Mountain Shadows blowout. Thank God we were far enough away that an ember wouldn't carry, but an ember going a mile, no problem. No problem with that going that way. I forgot to bring some pieces of cedar shake roof from Mountain Shadows. Boy, you get that going, it's just a piece of balsa wood that's on fire, and it's going anywhere. But you got to understand, these convection plume-dominated columns are 25 to 30,000 feet in the air. This is how high they can get. There is debris going that high. Fortunately, most of it burns out if it goes that high. Plus, it's going to run out of oxygen. There's not a lot of oxygen up there we know that, going up to the summit of Pikes Peak. But if there's a blowout above just a few thousand feet above the ground, it's throwing those embers somewhere. Mountain Shadows really got hit by a lot of the embers. But we're scarier than Mountain Shadows. And like I said again, a modern American city in the United States had 2 people killed, 350 homes destroyed, in Colorado Springs, 15 minutes away. So why is Woodmoor any different? It's actually scarier. We don't have all that support. We got these tight, confined roads. Our communities are a little older than Mountain Shadows. I believe Mountain Shadows was early 90s, late 80s put in, if I recall when Rock Rimmon was being built. This is some torching going on up in Rampart Terrace. This is where they're having the mudslides right now, is Wellington Gulch. This is Rampart Terrace Gulch, I'll call it. Wellington Gulch and Sand Gulch. Wellington is right there, and the next one over is Sand Gulch. And that's where we're having our mudslides right now, up on 24. For those of you that can't see it, there's a U.S. Forest Service engine sitting there doing what's called point protection. This guy's house had the luxury of having a fire truck parked in his driveway. It's a luxury. I'm on a hand crew taking a picture of this because I'm on the other side of the drainage trying to cut a hand line over to that house. We got a helicopter helping us with these torches that are going on as it's working its way our way. If we back up 2 of these, this is Rampart Terrace on Sunday. The picture I just showed you with the house is Tuesday. The fire is above and then it comes back down, is what it was doing. It was all over the place up there. We have similar things here. We have drainages here. You don't see them because somebody put a road there, or you could call them your green spaces or your open spaces. It's a drainage. How many ponds do we have in Woodmoor? A lot, because we have to plot them for ice rescues. It's not just the lakes. We have all the ponds, so we know if we have to go there for an ice rescue, or we need to pull water out of it. Again, up and around is what the fire did, and it's coming back down on Tuesday. That was Sunday night. It's just, the fire's all over the place, and if you read the paper or the news when the incident commander was here, Harvey, out of Utah, this fire is all over the place. It's doing things it shouldn't do. For those of you that have lived in Monument, we know we love the wind, don't we? I get tired of the wind. I especially get tired of the wind in spring when it's like, can I just have a warm day? I'm done with winter. Where's my warm day? No wind, no breeze. It's just not going to happen in Monument. It's going to be wind-driven. The fuels are here. Count your house as fuel. Your car is fuel. The dog house is fuel. The firewood you threw under your deck is fuel. The gym equipment you put out there for the kids is fuel. Where's this? Woodmoor. Can you just cut the trees, just thin them out a little bit more? Thin them out just a little bit. I'm trying to stand where I'm not in anybody's way. We just need you to thin it out a little bit. If that fire gets airborne from the block down, all bets are off. We can't defend this home. We can't drop enough of those trees in time to give you a buffer. We need the 10-foot spacing up here at your crowns, or wherever the branches are closest. That's where you're measuring. If it's within 10 feet, I have a video in here that shows you some running trees. It will kill you. You need to leave when we say leave. This is Tuesday after we had been forced off the line because we got hit with 40-mile-an-hour winds. I'm on a hand crew. The 20 of us, I said, nope, get in the trucks. We're going to go sit on Highway 24 and watch for spot fires on the south side. Over here is going to be this little cotton ball that pops up. And I turn the sound down, otherwise you just hear the wind screaming here. Everything's doing just fine on the south side. Protect the watersheds, protect the watersheds, protect the watersheds. And we're certainly not going to let Pikes Peak get on fire in national news. It's America's mountain. This is a plume-dominated fire just starting to rock. Here's another one starting to rock. Here's one that's already collapsing. This one's probably at 22,000 feet. You know, this one's below Pikes Peak at the moment, but that's where it's going to go. We're going to come back to this one here in about a minute or two, and this thing is just cranking. And this is what is going to hit Mountain Shadows in the next hour. And what is that smoke? It's coming from hundreds to thousands of trees burning at one time. It's an energy release component that you're talking at an atomic level of energy being released. And it's nature. It's not an atomic bomb. It's just climbing and climbing. This guy's climbing. This guy's collapsing. So you got these winds going up, winds coming down, winds getting sucked in, winds getting pushed out. Nobody's up here. We're not up there. We're down here in Cascade Protection Structures. Those are trees. You know what? We got to let it go. We're not going to get in there right now. This is Woodmoor. You want us in here to protect your house. You got to give us a chance to protect your house by mitigating your property. And it's not just about the one house. It's about the neighborhood now. Because that's how Mountain Shadows got taken out, was by a neighborhood. Now again, I've heard, look at this thing just cranking. It is just building and building and building. Well, my neighbor won't do anything about his house. Well, I'm only going to be one truck with two fellows on it, maybe three if I'm lucky. I may have an assignment of protect the 20 homes. If 19 of you have mitigated, I can take care of the 20th. If 19 of you haven't and the one has, I can't do anything for anybody. That's what we're saying. Mitigate. Give us a chance. If your neighbor won't cut his trees down now or mitigate, when we get a fire, we'll take care of it. Don't believe me, it ain't going to be pretty and it ain't going to be cleaning up, and we're not going to come back in there and chip it all up. We dropped your trees, we gave you the defensible space, have a nice day. Well, who's going to clean it up for me? That's your problem. We are charged with defending and protecting property and life. Bad boy is just, boy, if you're in a glider, you are just getting a lift and you're going to go high. It's just building and building and building. Fire season right now is about 8 months long for us here in Colorado. When was our last blizzard? We didn't get the snowpack this year. We did not get the snowpack. Where are we at? Hello, Woodmoor. Give us a chance. If 19 of you homes on a street can mitigate, we'll take care of the one. If 19 of you won't and the one will, we can't do anything for all 20 of you. If you need assistance, your Woodmoor foresters, your WIA, you pay dues to them, put them to work for you. Help me out. Mitigate. Do you do all this in a day? No, you know what? Take a bite out of it this year. Next year, take another bite out of it. Next year, take another bite out of it. Grandkids are coming out for the summer, 16, 17. Oh, I got projects. Mom, Dad, I don't want to go to Colorado anymore. Grandma and Grandpa put me to work. Just got to take wax, just little chunks of it, and help us out. Where are we at? Oh, I don't even know what to do with this house. It's got cedar shakes. I got 20 homes I got to protect. I got 3 of us. I'd say the spacing is, I can do with that. I can deal with that. Maybe I can drop a couple trees. I can't do anything with that roof. I cannot do anything with that roof. But I can take care of the other 19 houses. Make a note of it and see what we can do. But I'm not putting a lot of energy into it. We're not going to put a lot of energy into it when we have 400 threatened or 2,600 threatened. Now we got to start cutting our losses.